what do we think's going to happen? Because I've never seen corruption like this in a European country, like so public. It's scary because there's no evidence. 2 of the alleged victims have come out and said, we're not victims. The judge has said they're brainwashed.
Yeah.
The 2 victims left have been exposed on WhatsApp chat logs saying it's a setup, acting. One of them has a bad background. It's coming uncovered now off
4 times falsely accusing men.
Accused of men.
4
and
times.
I've heard, I don't want to expose it yet, but I'm hearing on the grapevine on many different forums of one of the guys have been jailed for it.
Yep.
Another guy.
Self-deletion. Self-deletion.
Mm-hmm. Self-deletion we're hearing, and many instances that shows me this woman is not right, and any court in the world or any prosecution would see, wait, let's investigate her because she seems like she does this for a cause.
Not a credible witness at all.
Witness. Yeah. Yet they're still being detained. Like, what's going on? What do you think is going on? What is this?
Well, I mean, someone that has experience actually investigating human trafficking, I mean, there's no human trafficking here at all. And I did it at the highest level, at the federal level in the United States, where, we have some semblance of rule of law. Of course, there's always corruption everywhere you go, but I would say, the United States does a fairly good job of going after corruption. Now, with that said, with this human trafficking investigation, I mean, it couldn't be further from the truth. These women had one of the girls, right, one of the accusers, the one that said that Andrew or whatever, she had been living at the house for weeks. And she was jogging every day, taking Ubers, going to the grocery store, getting her own food because she insisted on exercising, taking the dogs out, etc. Tell me how you're being trafficked, but you're going back and forth to the home. Tell me how you're being trafficked and, when you're staying at the home and, having consensual interactions with them. She did an interview with Vice where she said herself, oh yeah, well, it was consensual and I enjoyed it and everything like that, but it was because I loved them and whatever, which to me is a very scary precedent. So now you're saying because your feelings change, you're going to go retroactively withdraw consent. This is really the times that we're getting into, where women will sit there and lie because they feel a certain way. And the reality is, what she didn't want to say is because she didn't get her 200,000 euro that she wanted, and she didn't get her YouTube and TikTok career propelled through Andrew's help, because he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And she just was like, let me make a false accusation. And then the other girl she made that's trying to put this stuff on Tristan, she had done this 4 times before, and then the next week after, they left Romania allegedly after being trafficked, why are you in the French Riviera hanging out, where it costs like $10K a day, driving around in Porsches and Bentleys with Rolex watches on. Like, what are you talking? How did you guys get this money all of a sudden? Weren't you guys just trafficked? That doesn't make sense. Shouldn't you be going to a therapist or a center or seeing some family after being trafficked in such a horrific experience? It's all a lie, and it's amazing to me how all this exculpatory evidence has come out, and in the United States we use that to refer to evidence that shows that the defendant is innocent. All this evidence has come out, but it's not being put out by the mainstream media. And people say, oh, you guys are just clout chasing, whatever. Well, we have to put that out because mainstream media isn't putting it out. I don't see Fox News reporting on this at all, or CNN. They just keep saying, oh, yeah, Andrew's being detained for human trafficking, but they don't want to talk about all the evidence that's coming out that's showing these women are lying. The WhatsApp messages, the fact that this girl had a financial incentive, the fact that she was free to go at any time, the fact that the home video camera footage shows that they had left the home to get some Uber and then come back in. They're dancing on TikTok in the house.
The night before they arranged the rates.
You know what I mean? It's incredible how much evidence there is to show that these women were clearly, conspiring. I mean, hell, on the WhatsApp messages, we could sell this to Hulu and Netflix. This is crazy to me.
You know what's funny about this as well is that people think this is a war on Andrew and Tristan, right? It's not.
Masculinity.
It's a war on men. Because this means, for example, these guys here have status, have a little bit of clout, obviously influence, but the average guy, how do you fight this? You can't. And all the evidence is there showing that they're innocent, but unfortunately, they're in Romania, which is corrupt itself. That being said, us as men, us being here together is a start. But in reality, how do we fix this issue? Because right now they're still in jail when they shouldn't be in jail. So my thing is we just got to keep pushing the message out there. But how do we even stop this? I mean, what do we do?
Bigger than just a war on men. I think it's a war on truth. I think that they were the ones who were exposing the truth about the world. And if you see that beautiful women love the message that Andrew and Tristan were spreading. They're like, I want to find a man that's going to protect me. I want to be in the house. I want to raise children.
They don't clip
I
that
like
stuff,
this fact that they're bringing back traditional masculinity, and this is exactly what my dad was talking about. It's for it's just a positive message in general. It's not. I don't think it's men versus women. It's a perfect example of how they're trying to push this one specific narrative, not because they're trying to single out men and women, but look, women suffer just as much as men if men are weak because they don't want to be with the weak man. It's just a war on people. It's a war on truth. It's more control. It's more power for these people behind the scenes that want to push one specific narrative.
And here's the other thing too. You can't have influence without not being able to be controlled. And the thing is that Andrew and Tristan were highly influential, but they couldn't control them.
I agree.
So since they can't control them, what are we going to do? Oh, let's go ahead and arrest them because we can't control these guys and they have massive influence. Because the reality is what Andrew did was he found a void in the market where there's a bunch of pussies out there that aren't masculine, are weak, letting women walk all over them. And the reason why Andrew blew up is because he fits what every guy wants to be. Tall, has money together, attractive guy, former kickboxer, world champion. He exemplifies masculinity in a traditional sense. And a lot of guys are like, whoa, this is awesome. So they consume his content. Wow, I haven't been told this by mainstream media. This is awesome. He blows up. And then all of a sudden, this guy's too influential, and he's telling you guys to not be wage slaves, to go to the gym, to not let women control you, not be an agent of the matrix. Whoa, let's get him out of here. Let's go ahead and put him in jail. And then, rightfully so, all the guys that are defending him. I mean, Logan Paul had to meet up in Sydney, and what did they say? Free Top G. Why? Because they know Logan Paul is a bot, right? And Logan Paul is controlled by the media, and Logan Paul cares a lot about his image over necessarily the truth. So they're like, yo, we're tired of this BS that you guys have been giving us. We want Andrew Tate, and that's why people fight so hard for him, because he's awakened, right, masculinity in them, and then they pulled him away. They found his content. Whoa, this guy changed my life. Wait, you're telling me he's in jail? Wait, hold on. Who are these two women? Wait, you're telling me all these accusations, so it's causing outrage, right? And a lot of the community, rightfully so, because if this can happen to Andrew and Tristan, it can definitely happen to anybody else.
Anybody.
But you really believe this is a bigger thing than the Romanian?
I think so.
You really believe it's a bigger thing?
Yeah, I definitely do think so because, like I said before, if you're influential but you can't be controlled, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Logan Paul is controlled, right? He's a bot. That's why Logan Paul is so worried about his thing. He already got canceled once, and they can connive him to do whatever they need to. Andrew and Tristan, you can't.
Yeah.
So whoa, we can't control these guys. Put them in jail. And then on top of that, they're anti-establishment. They're like, hey, be an entrepreneur, make money, don't be a slave, don't be a wage slave. If you got to work a job, that's fine, but build up a business as well. Don't be reliant upon someone else to pay you and take care of you. And of course, this is bad for the economy because when you got people that are independent thinkers, guess what happens? It's not good.